My dad writes the laws. You quote, "The beam is sharp, performative, loud, abundant to echo." Camille Renee Hollister, 22 years old, leans aback and tosses the band at Judge Frank Caprio like it's a trump card. "Miss Hollister, this bank enforces them. Do you accept the accused join you?" "I accept this as a formality." "That's not what I asked." Her attorney, David Kern, rises smoothly. "Your Honor, my applicant is able to boldness this bulk efficiently. We'd like to pay the fines and abutting the case this morning." "Mr. Kern, sit down. This cloister is not a acquittal portal. The words acreage quietly, but they acreage hard." David Kern hesitates, afresh sits. Caprio curtains his pen once. "Administrator Clean, affirm we accept the anatomy cam audio cued." "Yes, Your Honor." "Good. Afore we cull the audio, acquaint us breadth you're watching from and subscribe to adjustment in cloister if you're 50. The agent accomplish forward. Docket 24 to 9551. Commonwealth against Camille Renee Hollister. Charges: adventuresome alive in a academy zone. Abortion to crop to a banal in a apparent crosswalk. Disorderly conduct consisting of audacious animadversion directed at an officer. Browbeating via political leverage. Commendation issued by Administrator Luis Montero. Cartage and convoying on Monday at 8:47 a.m. Caprio leans forward. "Miss Hollister, did you accept a archetype of the commendation at the scene?" "I did." "And did you apprehend it?" "I skimmed it." "That's not the same." "Mr. Kerna, is your applicant able to abode these accused in abounding today?" David Karna stands again, added carefully this time, "Your Honor, we accept the adapted resolution is a quick disposition. My applicant has no above-mentioned bent almanac and is accommodating to pay all fines today. Counselor, I didn't ask about her alertness to pay. I asked if she's able to abode the facts." "Sit down." Caprio flips a page. "There's a characters here. Above-mentioned authoritative admonishing from aftermost year. Miss Hollister was cited for dispatch in the aforementioned Academy breadth 42 in a 25. She paid the accomplished, but completed no antidotal course. Not a bent bulk, but ambience for judgment. Miss Hollister, what happened in that incident?" Camille shrugs. "I was backward for class. I paid the fine. It's handled. Advantageous a accomplished closes a file. It doesn't change behavior. That's not abuse for today. It's pattern." David Kern tries again. "Your Honor, my applicant acknowledges she could accept handled Monday's bearings better. She's actuality to booty albatross by advantageous the fines and effective forward. Mr. Karna, advantageous a accomplished doesn't advise annihilation except how to use a acclaim card. I appetite to accept what happened. Miss Hollister, airing me through Monday morning." Camille exhales, audibly annoyed. "I was alive to campus on Hope Street. I was alive backward for an exam. The ablaze was yellow. I went through. Some guy stepped into the bridge afterwards. I was already past. The cop pulled me over and fabricated a big accord out of nothing. You were clocked at 52 WTTFTTDeter. See my twemper in a quaint 25 Academy zone. The artery was mostly empty. Mostly doesn't beggarly safe. It's an alive academy breadth with bridge guards on duty. You bootless to crop to a banal in a apparent crosswalk. He wasn't in danger. I was already through. That's not what the affirmation shows. Let me apprehend you one band from a accounting account submitted by Henry Bishop, the pedestrian. I was one footfall from a wheelchair. Camille after effects a hand. That's dramatic. Annihilation happened. David Kern objects. Your Honor, we're introducing abstract abuse that didn't materialize. The banal wasn't injured. Counselor, abuse isn't aloof impact. It's risk. Mr. Bishop was in a apparent bridge with the appropriate of way. Your client's acceleration and abortion to crop created abutting danger. That's not speculative. That's factual. Caprio turns to the administrator, continuing abreast the sidewall. Administrator Montero, amuse apprehend your anecdotal into the record. Administrator Luis Montero, accomplish forward, calm, and precise. At 8:44 a.m., I empiric a white SUV traveling Arctic on Hope Artery at an estimated 52 afar per hour in a quaint 25 VPTUs Petit Academy zone. The agent approached a apparent bridge breadth a pedestrian, afterwards articular as Henry Bishop, had entered with a erring signal. The agent did not slow. It anesthetized oral about 3 anxiety of M. Bishop, who had to footfall aback to abstain collision. I accomplished a cartage stop. Aback I approached the driver, afterwards articular as Camille Hollister. She stated, "This is ridiculous." Aback. I explained the violation. She photographed my brand and stated, "You don't appetite my dad on your case." Caprio pauses. Administrator Montero, did you apperceive that account as intimidation? Yes, Your Honor. Camille leans forward. That was sarcasm. I was frustrated. Let's apprehend it. Administrator Cleanay played the anatomy cam audio. Aloof the accordant exchange. A abrupt hiss of static. Afresh Camille's voice, abrupt and sharp. You don't appetite my dad on your case. Caprio lets the blackout authority for a moment. Miss Hollister, your ancestor is Agent Edward Hollister, Apiary, Rhode Island's additional district, correct? Yes. And aback you said you don't appetite my dad on your case. Were you apropos to his position as the affiliate of Congress? I was actuality sarcastic. Administrator Montero, how did you adapt it? As leverage, Your Honor. An adumbrated after effect for accomplishing my job. Acrimony doesn't stop cars, Miss Hollister. Caprio turns to his clerk. Miss Ray, were there any contacts to this cloister or the administering apropos this case above mentioned to today's hearing? The agent flips through a log. Yes, Your Honor. One voicemail from a cardinal registered to the appointment of Agent Edward Hollister. Time-stamped at 9:34 a.m. Monday. About 47 account afterwards the citation. Play the voicemail. A man's voice, controlled and professional. This is calling from Agent Hollister's appointment, apropos case 24 to 9:5 We'd like to altercate a quiet resolution of this bulk afore it proceeds. Amuse acknowledgement this alarm at your ancient convenience. David Kern is on his feet. Your Honor. My applicant is not amenable for calls fabricated by third parties. This is prejudicial and extraneous to the charges. Overruled. Pressures on action are relevant. I'm not accusing anyone of bent conduct. I'm documenting facts on the record. That's transparency. Camille accoutrement in her seat. I didn't ask anyone to call. Maybe not, but addition anticipation it would help. Caprio looks at the agent again. Is Mr. Henry Bishop accessible to accord a abrupt statement? He is, Your Honor, by phone. Put him through. A man's voice, abiding and measured, fills the speaker. Acknowledge you, Your Honor. I'm a retired Aerial Academy teacher. I was Bridge Hope Artery at the apparent bridge abreast Wheeler Academy at 8:44 a.m. Monday. I had the erring signal. I was center beyond aback. I heard an agent abutting at aerial speed. I looked up and saw a white SUV address bottomward on me. I stepped back. The agent anesthetized oral 3 FT of breadth I'd been standing. If I hadn't stepped back, I would accept been hit. There were elementary academy accouchement cat and mouse on the adverse corner. They saw the accomplished thing. One additional of acceleration costs a lifetime of mobility. Camille mutters article beneath her breath. Caprio catches it. Miss Hollister, if you accept article to say it clearly. I said he should accept weighted. He had the appropriate of way. You didn't. There's no gray breadth here. Henry Bishop continues. Your Honor, I don't appetite money. I appetite accountability. That academy breadth exists to assure children. Acceleration band aren't suggestions. Acknowledge you, Mr. Bishop. Your account is on the record. The band clicks off. Caprio picks up addition document. Miss Reyes, this is an argument account screenshot submitted by the prosecution. Can you apprehend it? From Camille Hollister to Enbearding Contact. Timestamp 92 a.m. Monday. Got ticket. Dad says he'll fix it. NBD Camille's jaw tightens. That was private. It was discoverable. Miss Hollister, let me lay out a timeline. Cartage stop at 8:47 a.m. Your argument beatific at 9:02 a.m. Voicemail from your father's appointment at 9:34 a.m. Addition confused fast. I didn't ask him to, but you accepted it. And you told addition not to anguish because your ancestor would fix it. That's not frustration. That's entitlement. David Kern stands again, slower this time. Your Honor, I'd like to appeal that the butt of this audition be handled in accommodation to abbreviate accessible exposure. Media absorption could actualize arbitrary bias. Mr. Kern, sunlight is due process. We're blockage on the record. Caprio fixes Camille with a calm, abiding gaze. I'm activity to ask you 3 yes or no questions. Were you alive 52 MFs in a 25 and wide Satindad Academy zone? Yes. Did you abort to crop to a banal who had the appropriate of way in a apparent crosswalk? He stepped back. I didn't hit him. That's not a no. Did you abort to yield? Yes. Did you adjure your father's position as an agent during the stop? Camille hesitates. I fabricated a comment. That's not a no. Did you adjure his position? Yes. Your Honor, this feels like I'm actuality targeted because of who my dad is. Camille's articulation hardens. Bodies acceleration through academy zones every day and don't end up in cloister like this. You're not targeted. You're noticed. Most bodies don't drive 52 in a 25. Most bodies don't about hit a banal in a crosswalk. Most bodies don't adjure a congressman's name during a cartage stop. Most bodies don't accept their ancestor's appointment alarm the cloister an hour later. That's not targeting. That's consequence. David Kern accouterment uncomfortably. Your Honor, Miss Hollister is a academy apprentice with no bent record. A distinct lapse shouldn't ascertain her future. I agree. That's why I'm alleviative this as a acquirements gap, not a appearance verdict. The above-mentioned dispatch admonishing was a whisper. This commendation is a sentence. If we don't allege acutely now, the abutting after-effect ability be a adolescent in that bridge who doesn't footfall aback fast enough. 5 seconds. 7, 10, 12. No one moves. No one speaks. Camille stares at the table. David Karn's pen hovers. Administrator Montero stands still abreast the wall. A fresh Caprio speaks quietly. Accountability gets quiet, so accuracy can be heard. Here's my finding. The affirmation supports all 4 charges. Administrator Monto's anecdotal is above board and corroborated by anatomy cam audio, bridge CCTV timestamp, and Miss Bishop's statement. Miss Hollister collection foolishly had added than bifold the acceleration absolute in an alive academy zone. She bootless to crop to a banal who had the appropriate of way in a apparent crosswalk, creating abutting danger. She directed audacious animadversion at Administrator Montero. She invoked her father's position in a address that Administrator Montero Analytic perceived as intimidation. Caprio pauses. This cloister does not counterbalance cases based on titles, connections, or ancestors' position. Conduct is the abandoned bill here. Miss Hollister, your father's appointment does not get to intervene. Your cachet does not abolish harm. Access doesn't alter reality. He turns a page. I additionally agenda the above-mentioned dispatch admonishing from aftermost year. Aforementioned zone, aforementioned speed. You paid the accomplished but abstruse nothing. That admonishing was instructional. This cardinal is educational. The abject fines absolute $850. Adventuresome alive in a academy zone, $400. Abortion to crop to a pedestrian, $150. Disorderly conduct, $100. Browbeating via political leverage, $200. Kami exhales sharply. Caprio holds up a hand. I'm not finished. I'm blockage allocation of that absolute $350 accidental on your abounding and appropriate achievement of a alleviation accountability plan. If you complete it, that allocation is remitted. If you don't, it's reinstated and you pay the abounding amount. Here's what the plan requires. First, A counting acknowledgement to Henry Bishop, not a anatomy letter, not a accessible relations statement, a absolute acknowledgement that names what you did and what you learned. You will bear it in actuality if Mr. Bishop agrees to accommodate you. If he declines, you'll mail it, and the cloister will affirm receipt. Second, 60 hours of association account with the Providence Academy Assurance Program. You'll abetment with bridge acquaintance apprenticeship, admonition alike, bridge bouncer schedules, and assignment anon, with elementary schools to advise banal safety. The affairs administrator will abide a log to the court. Third, you'll abetment with 3 disciplinarian apprenticeship seminars focused on academy breadth assurance and banal appropriate of way. No cameras, no branding, aloof education. Fourth, you'll address in Almanac a 60-second accessible account advertisement on banal assurance in academy zones. The calligraphy will be vetted by this court. No acknowledgement of your family, no branding, no grandstanding, aloof accuracy about why acceleration band exist. Fifth, you'll complete a disciplinarian absorption advance accoutrement, the physics of speed, the action of crosswalks, and the belief of compliance. Certification of achievement will be filed with the court. Sixth, you'll abide a 700-word accounting absorption on what you abstruse through this process. Not slogans, not fluff, apparent truth. Caprio sets his pen down. Mercy isn't a discount, it's a contract. Additionally, I'm authoritative the afterward recommendations on the Almanac to the Borough Cloister Administration, the Carthage Division, and the appointment of the Congressman. 1. Authorize the account ex parte acquaintance log for all cases. Any off-record admonition attempts accompanying to awaiting cases will be accurate and acquaint publicly. 2. Apparatus of binding recusal or administrator authenticate protocol. If any officer, clerk, or cloister agent's affiliate is contacted by an adopted official or their appointment apropos a awaiting case, that agent's affiliate charge either recuse themselves or access a supervisor's co-signature on all accompanying actions. 3. Advance a banal assurance administration cast citywide. Academy zones with crosswalks should accept added monitoring, automatic acceleration detection, and accelerated commendation protocols. 4. Barrage a cloister hotline for access attempts. Any accomplishment to pressure, intimidate, or advantage political affiliation can appear anonymously. Every address will be investigated. 5. Administer a aerial academy apprenticeship bore on banal acquaintance that covers right-of-way laws, the after-effects of acceleration in academy zones, and the accent of aloof enforcement. If you anticipate ability should never blow justice, subscribe to adjustment in the court. So this archetypal spreads. The aperture opens. A man in aphotic clothing enters mid-50s. Salt and pepper hair, the accomplished aspect of addition, acclimated to podiums and press. Your Honor, I'm Agent Edward Hollister. I'd like a moment to altercate my daughter's case. Caprio doesn't stand. Congressman, this is an alive hearing. You're acceptable to observe. But I won't altercate the case with you al fresco the record. I'm not allurement for appropriate treatment. I'm artlessly allurement to boldness this bulk agilely for everyone's benefit. Congressman, quiet resolutions are how patterns continue. This case is actuality handled on the Almanac in accessible cloister like every added case. Camille interrupts. Dad, stop. This is my case, not yours. Agent Hollister turns against her, surprised. Caprio's boring sharpens. This is not your case to manage, Congressman. Your babe has counsel. She has a voice. Footfall aback and let her use it. The agent hesitates, afresh nods, and moves to the back row. Over the abutting 8 weeks, Camille completes the plan allotment by piece. Anniversary 1. She drafts the apology. The cloister rejects it. Too vague. Too abundant deflection. Not abundant accountability. She tries again. Better. Henry Bishop agrees to accommodate her at a coffee boutique abreast Wheeler School. The chat is brief, uncomfortable, and necessary. He tells her, "You didn't see me as a person. You saw me as an obstacle." Weeks 2 through 6, Camille logs 60 hours with the Providence Academy Assurance Program. She assists bridge guards during morning and afternoon shifts, helps alike assurance audits at 3 elementary schools, and teaches bridge acquaintance to additional graders. One bridge bouncer tells her, "Every car that slows is a kid who gets home." Anniversary 6, she co-assists 3 disciplinarian apprenticeship seminars at bounded aerial schools. No cameras, no posts, aloof students, convoying officers, and banal advocates talking through absolute scenarios. Anniversary 7, she annaled the PSA. The Aboriginal abstract includes accent about my family's charge to safety. The cloister sends it back. She annaled it afresh plainly. No ancestor's name, no branding, aloof her articulation, and the truth. The additional abstract passes. The disciplinarian absorption advance takes addition 2 weeks. She completes it afterwards, complaint. The balance is simple. 60 hours logged, 3 seminars completed, 1 behavior corrected. Henry Bishop tells the court, she showed up. She listened. That's added than I expected. Should every VIP adventuresome alive case accommodate association account in schools? Yes or no? Acquaint us beneath and subscribe to adjustment in the court. 8 weeks afterwards, the antecedent hearing, Camille allotment to court. This time she's alone. No counsel, no father, no entourage. Caprio reviews the submitted documents, the apology, the account log, the PSA recording, the advance certificate, the accounting reflection. Miss Hollister, I've apprehend your reflection. I appetite to apprehend you abridge it in your own words. No script. Camille stands. I anticipation acceleration banned in academy zones were about tickets. I didn't accept they abide because kids misjudge speed. Because endlessly ambit increases exponentially. Because one additional of agitation can end a life. A back-eye bootless to crop to Miss Bishop, I didn't aloof breach a rule. I affected a man to accept, amid his appropriate of way, and his safety. She pauses. I additionally didn't apprehend how abundant I leaned on my father's position. I've spent my accomplished activity bold addition would bland things over. Aback I said what I said to Administrator Montero, I wasn't actuality sarcastic. I was application ability I didn't earn. That's intimidation. What did you apprentice from Mr. Bishop? That bodies aren't obstacles. He had every appropriate to be in that crosswalk. I had no appropriate to accomplish him footfall aback to survive. What did you apprentice from the bridge guards? That every car that slows is a kid who gets home. Acceleration isn't aloof about time. It's about lives. Caprio nods. You chock full borrowing ability and started earning character. He signs a form. I'm remitting $250 of the backward portion. You still owe $600 total. You'll pay it in installments over 6 months. The cloister will advise her compliance. Acknowledge you, Your Honor. Don't acknowledge me. Acknowledge the bodies who accomplished you what I couldn't. 4 months later, the behavior booty route. The account ex parte acquaintance log is appear on the Borough Cloister website. Admiral accept training on the recusal and administrator authenticate protocols. 3 cases are flagged in the Aboriginal Quarter. All are reassigned afterwards incident. The banal assurance administration cast is adopted citywide. Academy breadth ecology increases by 60%. Bridge violations bead by 34% in the Aboriginal 6 months. The Cloister Hotline receives 8 letters of access attempts in the Aboriginal Quarter. 5 advance to academic reviews. Camille's PSA is broadcast to 21 aerial schools and included in disciplinarian apprenticeship curricula. It's not viral, it's not celebrated, but it's acclimated, and that's enough. One ancestor emails the court. My babe watched that video and slowed bottomward abreast her school. She said she didn't appetite to be that driver. Acknowledge you. On a quiet Friday afternoon, Caprio finishes his aftermost case of the week. Afore leaving, he writes a distinct assumption on a agenda and pins it to the account Lath abaft his bench. Ability that doesn't accept becomes cruelty. He thinks of Camille Hollister, of Henry Bishop dispatch aback to survive, of elementary academy accouchement watching from the corner. He turns off the ablaze and locks the door. Dramatization for storytelling and education, not acknowledged admonition or reporting.